Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? I hope everyone is doing great. I hope everyone is staying safe in this, crazy pandemic. I hope everyone is actually staying safe and keeping well. So today we are back again. Yes, we are back again with another video, and it's actually with my lovely sister here. We have a lot of conversations off camera, so I'm actually happy that today we're actually having this conversation on camera so that everyone can engage and also listen as well. So welcome Liz. How do you feel? First time?
Good. Yeah, it's exciting to be here. It's a privilege, so thank you for having me.
Of course, always. So anyway, before we go into it, I would like you to feel free and let people know obviously a little bit about yourself, what you do and what have you been up to and stuff like that, so people can get to know you.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm Elizabeth. I'm actually just got into training as a counsellor. So that's very interesting. Nice. And just do a bit of admin work at home, obviously during the pandemic. So yeah.
How is the counselling going for you?
It's interesting. It is intense sometimes, but I am very intrigued. Even just understanding how we obviously develop as humans as part of it, but also how we kind of manage our way in life through the different challenges that we have, and just being able to have that level of understanding to then actually guide and assist and advise people into making the right decisions in this lifetime. So yeah.
Wow, very deep though. It's quite a big thing.
Yeah,
because it's
really is
people's lives. So
yeah, I feel like it's needed more. So I think that's one of the reasons why I did want to go in and just get the understanding.
The understanding of it. Yeah,
for sure.
Anyways, okay, so today, Liz, we're going to talk about something very important today. Something that is, a part of our lives, something that is literally, it's part of our humanity, and what we're going to talk about is in relation to expressing your emotions, the importance of expressing your emotions and being vulnerable. But we're going to dive into your life and talk about how emotions was like for you growing up. So can you talk us through how emotions were like for you growing up? How was your emotions like for you growing up? Were you always the sort of person that expressed your emotions? Do you even know what emotions was growing up?
So I would say obviously looking back now, I think at the time I didn't really know about emotions. I would say I wasn't really in tune with my emotions.
Right.
There's a lot of I just didn't have a lot of language for certain emotions. I don't know, I guess the more popular ones, or the things that people say, like being happy, or obviously laughter. I laughed a lot because I just like to laugh. But like crying and being comfortable in crying, it just never really was a thing. So yeah, I wasn't really in tune with my emotions, and I didn't know how to express them to family, to friends. That part of myself, I suppressed a lot of emotions. Like I said, I didn't have language for it, so it just...
So everything was just like a normal thing. It wasn't...
Yeah, I guess it was just... just even thinking about it now, when I was like... I didn't cry much when I was younger. I only cried if like someone hurt me physically, or you're supposed to cry. I would think if like I felt a weird emotion, I would call it weird, or like you're not supposed to feel it. So I would just be like, okay, cover it up, let's do something normal kind of thing. So it just I wasn't in tune with it, like I said, and I just thought, just looking back now, I guess I just thought there was a certain type of emotions we're supposed to feel, very weirdly. It's really it's not a great mindset to have.
What was it due to though? Like what was the reason for that?
I guess we didn't really talk about emotions in our household. It wasn't a thing, or like how you are doing, how you feeling, came up, but it wasn't like to doubt, okay, how are you doing, how do you feel about a certain experience that's happened, or something's happened, or okay, I failed my grades, like how do you feel? It's just like, okay, I failed my grades, oh, my mum's annoyed, well, she's upset, I'm upset, but I didn't sit with the emotions and express it and
Right.
journey through that emotions
Right.
and kind of thing. It wasn't a thing like that. So it was just like, oh yeah, I'm upset, on to the next. So it was just the journey of like, okay, you had this small emotion, don't sit with it and express it, just move on to the next.
Just move on.
So I didn't have time to like, not saying I didn't have time, but it wasn't a thing to have the time to to journey through those emotions and let it be human. I mean, it's our human nature, so it never really was a thing, I guess. So yeah.
So okay, let's go straight into obviously you growing up now. Now obviously I'm sure the emotions are coming up. You know, you're having to feel things. You're having to go through things as a young adult. How was it like for you when obviously you were going into your adult years? Were you now starting? Were you becoming in tune with your emotions from then?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like when I did, I guess, know about emotions, not that I didn't know about emotions, but being a bit more in tune with certain emotions and allowing them to sit was when I went into university, because obviously going into, the university I went to, far place, new area, didn't know anyone, and it's just me. So I was faced with myself. So that was kind of a lot, because I had to kind of, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know who I was, that I thought I should know.
Yeah.
So that faced with myself, faced with emotions that I was it was very uncomfortable, because I had to come, I feel like this, why do I feel like that? And sit with it. I mean, there was no other options than to sit with it, because I was there and I had to journey through that, especially being in a new place by myself kind of thing, and building the relationships. I wouldn't say building, but obviously being around new people, building those new relationships. So yeah, it was hard, because some emotions I was like, and like back to what I said before, like it was weird, because I guess I suppressed a lot of emotions like when I was younger, because I just felt like I had to be a certain way.
You had to deal with things.
Yeah, I just had to be strong. Especially growing up with boys as well. Maybe it's my assumption. I think is when you don't really communicate, that I'm seeing right now, no communication is a lot of assumptions. So I guess I assumed, okay, like you have to be strong. Well, I felt like, especially being surrounded by boys, I had to be strong, not show emotions. When I did show emotions, I mean, I'll be sitting by myself and really frustrated. That's why so it was just, it was hard. It took me a while. I mean, I'm very uncomfortable. I would say maybe my second year, and trying to talk to people, it was just hard, because if you don't know the emotions you have, and then you're talking to someone else, they're thinking it's hard to express that to them as well, and then them being able to kind of deal with it as well. So it was hard, but it was needed, because I needed to grow into the understanding of who I was as a person as well, Elizabeth. And then like journey through those emotions, like have language for certain emotions that I had and why I felt, and allow myself to feel it.
Definitely. I think it's so important for us to allow ourselves to feel our emotions, you know, because
100%.
we always, we always go with the flow of what society says we should be, what family, what the culture says we should be. So it makes us not to accept our humanity, you know. And I think a lot of people are going through life, but they are just suppressing their emotions because they are thought to be strong. Do you know what I'm saying? So at what point did you realize, okay, actually you talk about not being comfortable with your emotions. Why were you not, was it okay, were you not comfortable? Okay, you talked about not being comfortable with your emotions, right? Was it you not being comfortable with people, or not being comfortable with yourself?
I think it was both. Yeah, I think it was both. Why wasn't you? Like I said, obviously not being self-aware and not having, like, my identity was a bit I didn't really truly know who I was as a person. So I mean, I wasn't comfortable. I was like, I don't know, maybe I thought I had this idea of I had to be a certain way, but it was just mixed match. It didn't add up. And then I also had the thought of other people view me. They had to view me a certain way. So it's quite messed up, because it's like, it's not actually what they think of me, but I'm having the view they should think of me a certain way. Do you get
it? So it was on like a mask.
So I felt like, okay, they have to see. I don't even know where I don't know, social media or media. I don't know where I got this from. That okay, Elizabeth has to be a certain way rather than being my authentic self. I just felt like they had to view me a certain way, and I can't show weakness.
Wow.
Especially with, I can just remember, just bring an example, just being a worship leader in church, and you have to do sing a certain way, not necessarily sing a certain way, but you're ministering. You know, you have to be a certain way. Yeah. Maybe that's me putting it on myself. Maybe not really. Obviously, that's the other people as well. Okay, you have to do your worship leader. You have to look a certain way. But me, for myself, as I view worship leaders, you had to be a certain way. So that was another thing as well, because I'm just like, okay, no, I'm leading worship this Sunday. You know, I have to be good. Yeah, and you ignore your emotion. Oh. Yeah. But I'm burning inside. Like through the week, it could be. And I remember sharing that one Sunday. Like through the week, you know, I was all over it, especially being at uni as well. Kind of all over the place. Oh my gosh, this. I'm a bit stressed with work, and this is happening. And I was put that to the side. I've got to sing on Sunday. You know what I mean? We've not been dealing with it, so it was quite.
It's because we don't normalize that side of, you know, our humanity. We don't normalize it. What we do is we just go with things as it is. We just go with the surface based things, you know. We normalize that instead of our emotions, you know. And
so but I had to get to the point of that, even it wasn't a bad thing to even tell the choir leader, maybe I'm not feeling well, or I'm not, you know, doing this. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's actually all right. Someone else will lead. Do you know what I mean? I had to. I put that on my head. No, I have to be. And I don't know. It's God. I don't know. And then you can use that as in like, oh, the work, like my work attitude, that I have to be okay. This is gonna please God. This is gonna get me and God good. Like you know. So it was very kind of hard to kind of dissect it and be like, okay, what do I actually truly feel, and bring those emotions to surface and journey through that, because we're human.
So you blocking those emotions and not being vulnerable with yourself and with people, and obviously when we talk about vulnerability, people always, you know, see vulnerability as weakness. They always see it as, oh gosh, it's like don't do that, you know. People always see the negative connotation to do with vulnerability. But for me, I believe vulnerability is strength, a lot of strength. Needed. And I feel like when we say people should be vulnerable, it doesn't mean, oh, okay, just go out there and then start sharing your whole life out there. No. But I believe in the gradual steps. You 100%. Know, first of all, being vulnerable with yourself, being vulnerable with the few people that God has placed with you, for connection. You, it's needed for connection. So for me, back to the question: how did that affect you? Because maybe someone may be listening to it and then they're like, okay, maybe they think it's fine not to be, it's fine not to express your emotions, it's fine to just go with the flow, it's fine not to be vulnerable. How did that affect you? Because I know everybody, the way things affect everybody is different. But can you share how it affected you? Like, you know,
it affected me big because it built up. The emotions stacked up. Even like if I'm feeling like frustrated, I was reading a book, part of a book club. I'm reading a book on untangling emotions, right? And it was talking about different emotions mixing. And then I was journaling not a couple of days ago, and about I was talking about like release. I saw it within myself, if I wasn't going to release a certain emotion or like talk to someone about it, that's how I talk about release. It has an effect, or it adds and mix with different emotions, and it's not good. The build up is, I don't even know how to, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. Like right. I would have meltdowns. I suffered a bit of depression in university, which was very hard due to the fact that I wasn't opening up.
You were dealing with it by yourself.
It was draining, and I had to put on a facade. I don't know where that came from to go and minister in church. It was damaging. I can relate. Oh my god, it was hard. I remember one time I actually broke down at work. I don't even know. I think it was something small, but because all those emotions were mixing, and I didn't release it, or I didn't speak to someone about it, I broke down at work. I brought it all came, and then when it started, it just went. Wow. And then my supervisor had to bring me outside and was like, I feel like he saw signs and stuff, and he was like, you might be depressed.
Wow.
It was a lot, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But my advice is to talk to someone about it.
Definitely.
To talk. I mean, it's not. I mean,
it's not easy.
When people was to tell me that, I was don't want to, but it was hard.
It's not easy, but it's
to trust
needed.
someone, it's needed.
Just to be liberated, you know, because I'm sure when you started opening up to
100%.
obviously one or two people, you felt a sense of relief, right?
Gosh, because I had it felt like a heaviness on my back a lot, and even opening up to God and being vulnerable in a secret place really helped, really helped a lot, so much, and it's still a journey, even expressing the emotions.
It never ends.
It's still a journey, because sometimes you think, I feel like I can't.
It never ends.
Talk to someone. I feel like I can't, but it's needed. We need each other.
So, what would you say to maybe that young person, or even an adult watching this, who thinks, expressing your emotions to people or being vulnerable to people is not help? Like it's a sort of an. People may use it against them. Who they think that, okay, maybe being vulnerable, people might use that against them.
Okay, because you might see it as weak.
Or as weak or something. Because when you were vulnerable, were you thinking people would use it against you?
No, I need to be free. No.
You just needed to be free.
The way, I'm telling you, I'm not even over exaggerating. The way, especially going through depression. Oh my days, there were days. My head was it was a lot.
Oh God.
It was heavy.
Yeah. You can't do it by yourself.
It was a lot. So I mean.
What would you
it's
say?
not for everyone. Like you said, go out in the street and tell everyone your business.
Not about you
it's to find the right people.
To
find the right people.
Definitely.
If it's just one person, find the right people.
Even if it's one person.
And it's gradual. Like you talked about being gradual. Like you're not gonna be like, oh my gosh, this happened in my childhood. This that. Oh, like maybe, or even therapy. Oh my gosh, therapy. Yeah. If you can afford it, because I know therapy is not cheap. If you really can afford therapy, I would advise you to go for therapy. I always say everyone should be in we've all gone through things. I mean at different stages. I mean short term, long term therapy. I mean, but it's needed. But yeah, find that right person. I'm not saying find the right person. I mean it's a journey. Yeah. But take the risk of opening up because it's needed for you.
That. Take the risk.
Take it to liberate yourself. So that's the 2-piece I'll put, but. It's a journey. It really is a journey,
and also understanding that we are we need to allow ourselves to
be hard on
to be
yourself.
human. Like I always say this. Sometimes our culture norms and society and people, create these things that you're supposed to be this way. You're supposed to be tough.
You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to cry.
It's
I put up a post about crying, and even coming to myself, I can cry, and it's all right. It's all right. To wake up and feel emotion. You can cry, let it out, journey through it. I'm not saying that you should be crying oh my gosh, but journey through that process of crying. Why are you crying? What's the emotion behind it? What is this? Get language for it. Talk to someone that you can trust. But just don't have it. I wish for no.
This is something we always talk about, even off camera. So it's so deep, and thank you so much for. I wish we could
talk for.
I wish, but the time we have to end it
again.
But thank you so much. Honestly, I have to record with you again. We have to do this again
for sure.
It's so important to literally emotions and dissecting, and it's so important to talk about it a lot. So there'll be another video. Watch out. For sure. Thank you again.
Thank you
for being real and transparent. So anyways, family, I hope you were inspired. I hope you were blessed. I hope you took something from this. I took something from this myself. And I'm glad that you guys tune in. Please continue to support this great platform. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Follow us on our comments. Comment below your suggestions, your comments, your thoughts, whatever it is. Comment below. This is a community, so that we can engage with each other, and then we can grow. This literally the point of this platform. So yeah, follow us on our social media pages: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. What's the handle?
PUC Converse.
Come on.
Yes.
Anyway, so thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.